Ulta recently had their 21 Days of Beauty event. And if you know me, then you know that I love makeup and I love a good sale. So I couldn't resist and I picked up quite a few goodies. I miss the good old days when the beauty steals used to be just mostly makeup. Personally, I would prefer more makeup. That's just me. I am a makeup junkie. I have wanted to try the Ole Henriksen Pout Preserve Peptide Lip Treatment ever since it first launched, pretty much. I got the shade Strawberry Sorbet. I've used this for the past week or so. Let me just start off with the packaging. Packaging's nice, simple, little squeezy tube. I do prefer when the applicator is a little bit more dipped, just to really hug the lips, but this one is not uncomfortable by any means. The smell of this is fantastic. I'm assuming all of the flavors / shades have different scents, but this one is like yummy strawberry flavor. It's artificial but not childlike or candy strawberry. It smells almost like a real strawberry, but very, very intense. So I love the smell of it. I have it on today on top of a lipstick and a lip liner I'll talk about later. I do think that this is a nice lip balm. It's thicker, it wears a really long time on the lips, and I think that's the biggest redeeming quality about it because it is pretty pricey. I don't know if I would recommend it full price or repurchase it full price just because I have other more affordable lip balms like the ones from ColourPop. I love and I think they work really well. The only thing that makes this maybe a little bit superior to the ColourPop lip balm, for example, is its longevity. It really does grip onto the lips nicely. So I'm really happy that I got a chance to try it out for 50% off. This was not on one of the days as a beauty steal, but it was a bonus day, I believe, at the end. So I managed to snag this and I was so excited. This is an OG, okay? The Stila One Step Correct Skin Tone Correcting and Brightening Primer. I tried this, gosh, in high school 15 years ago. Wow, that's so crazy. It seems like a long time ago, but it doesn't seem that long ago until you actually count the years and then you're like, what? Anyway, when I was in high school, I never really wore makeup, but this was one of the only, or one of the first makeup products I ever tried. I remember really liking it for correcting the redness on my face. I don't know if my preferences have just changed or the formula has changed, but I didn't feel like it was as color correcting as I remember. I didn't really feel like it did any color correcting actually, but I did, however, like the texture of this. It feels very gel-like, very hydrating, very just nourishing and like a drink of water on the skin. I like how my foundation is sitting on top of it, so I will keep using it for those purposes, but I am a little disappointed that it's not as color correcting as I thought it was going to be. Let me know in the comments down below if you've tried this primer, if you know if it's been reformulated. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, just a little bit like confused. I picked up a Play Tint Bum Benefit. This is one of their OG products. It's a very, very, very liquidy stain. I'm sure you guys have all heard of it or seen it. It's nothing new, but this is what, Pink Lemonade, I think is the shade. And it's just a really pretty, kind of fun, bright pink. I love a tint, a skin tint, a cheek tint, a lip tint, any sort of tint, especially for my lips and cheeks because, I don't know, I feel like when I have a lip color and a cheek color, I just look way more healthy and alive. So even if I'm not wearing any other makeup, I love popping on a stain like this. Another blush, I picked up the Baked Blush and Brighten from Laura Geller. Laura Geller is one of those underrated, amazing brands. I love her baked powders. They're so thin and blendable and just so luminous and glowy and gorgeous. They make your skin look gorgeous. I love her formula. She recently, I think within the last year or so, came to Ulta. So you can get Laura Geller at Ulta now, which is great. This one is in the shade Pink Grapefruit. It's made in Italy. It is a luminous finish, obviously, but it doesn't have glitter in it. It's the blush I'm wearing today. I will say that it is more pigmented than I thought it was going to be initially. Usually with baked products, I find them to be a little bit more buildable most of the time. This one, however, was way more pigmented. It had more punch than I was expecting, but luckily it blended out really, really easily. So just something to keep in mind if you do end up picking up one of her blushes or trying them out. I don't know if they're all like that, but this shade in particular which is a little bit more pigmented than I thought, but I think it's very beautiful, beautiful formula, and I'm really happy to have it in my collection now. A product that I'm not completely sold on, the Tartelette XL tubing mascara. I love a tubing mascara, super easy to remove. There's something so satisfying about like peeling off the little black wormy things. I know, I'm weird. But this one, I don't know. I think it looks really pretty on the lower lashes. It gives a lot of length and separation, but it's a really wet formula, sort of like the Milani tubing mascara, if you've tried that one. It's not like you get a lot on the brush, but somehow the brush deposits a lot of product at once, so it kind of makes your lashes stick together, and it looks like you have like 5 really thick, long lashes, which is not my favorite. So I'm gonna have to keep testing it. I've worn it a couple times. It does remove like a normal tubing mascara. It doesn't flake or smudge on me. I do have dry skin, not extremely oily skin, so keep that in mind. But yeah, it's just a little bit too wet, a little too clumpy. It doesn't really build on itself well, and it also does not hold a curl. I have very downturned, down pointed lashes, and this weighs them down instantly. I like, but I don't love. Something that was a happy surprise, the MAC Dazzle Shadow eyeshadow stick. I've never even heard of these. I'm not a big MAC stan. Well, I like MAC, but the time when MAC was like huge, I was not really into makeup yet. You don't care. But anyway, they had these eyeshadow sticks on sale at Ulta, and I was like, you know what, let me just give it a shot. And it is gorgeous. It's way more pretty than I thought it was going to be. This one is in subliminal Spark. Gorgeous. It's almost a very faint rose gold. It's like a champagne, but it's got a little bit of a pinky peachiness in there, and the sparkle is so mesmerizing. I love it. It's gorgeous, glides, it doesn't tug, it doesn't feel uncomfortable. That's my pet peeve with eyeshadow sticks. They usually poke my eyes, and I don't like that uncomfortable feeling. This one, super easy to apply, and you can kind of just blend it out with your finger. So it's a great formula so far. I really like it. Again, I don't have oily eyelids, so I don't know if it creases if you have oily eyelids, but on me, it wears perfectly. Another MAC product. I feel like MAC is usually one of those brands that goes on sale during the 21 Days of Beauty, and I'm not mad about it because I love everything that I've tried from MAC. This is just their traditional matte lipstick, Maximal Matte Lipstick, and I got the shade 606 Kinda Sexy. I love this. I love MAC lipsticks. I picked up one last Ulta sale, and I loved it so much. I love the smell of it. It's like vanilla, and it's just a really beautiful matte formula. I have very dry lips usually, and I don't like a lot of matte lipsticks, but the MAC ones just smooth over everything, and they have really great shades. So I'm excited. Obviously, you guys have probably tried all the MAC lipsticks, but this is only my second MAC lipstick, and I'm really happy to have it in my collection. I picked up another Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. I have the brown one, so I wanted to get the black one because I really enjoyed the brown one. It's a really long felt tip eyeliner, which is my preference. Very pigmented, very black. It went over this liquid shadow that's like very thick, perfectly, no skipping. You can build up on itself. It's just a really great liquid liner. I also got a gel eyeliner from MAC. This is their Color Excess Glide or Die Gel Pencil Liner, and this is just the black one. Eyeliners and brow products are kind of those boring products that you pick up, but they are super, super necessary. Along those same lines, I did get a couple of brow products from Benefit. I got their Precisely My Brow Pencil. These brow pencils are very expensive, but if you get them for 50% off, totally worth it because the formula is very good. They are very long lasting. You get a very thin, precise tip. There's a lot of different shades to choose from. I got the shade 4.5 because I ordered it when I did have my darker hair. Has a really great spoolie. There's something about the packaging too that just gets me. It's one of those eyebrow products that I don't always buy because I have favorites from the drugstore, but on sale, I do think it's a good brow product. The formula is not too pigmented and not too dry. It's just a really great happy medium. Along with that, I got the Precisely My Brow Wax. I've actually never tried this before. I used it for the first time today, and I am not sold. It has a very small spoolie, and this is more of just a tinted volumizing brow gel. It's not really a laminating strong hold brow gel. I think this will be really good for just every day if I want to add a little bit of color and just fill in my brows slightly. But this is not going to give you hold or shape. I was trying to show you earlier in the video when I was applying it that I had a stubborn brow hair, and this just does not really help to subdue it. I don't know. You can't shape your brows with this. It's not going to give you extreme hold. I like the brush doesn't deposit too much product. Sometimes with these tinted eyebrow mousses, you get way too much way too quickly. So I like it. I don't know if I love it. I wish it had a little bit more hold, but we'll see. This was not part of the sale, but I've heard a couple people talk about this Secret Brightening Under Eye Setting Powder. I know, so random and so like not exciting, but the couple people I heard talk about this were raving, saying this is the best powder. It's a sleeper. No one's talking about it. You gotta try this. It's from Laura Mercier. Did I say what it was? The Secret Brightening Under Eye Setting Powder. I got the shade Translucent. I will say this was like $30-something and it is very tiny. It's a very tiny powder. Okay, this looks like a mini size. It is a very, 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 very finely milled powder. It reminds me of a loose Pat McGrath under eye powder, but like a loose version. The Pat McGrath one is baked, but very thin, and it kind of has that HD, almost white look to it. This is that, but in a loose powder. I thought it looked very blurring and almost like it was adding a veil over the skin. My skin has been really dry and dehydrated, so I'm gonna have to keep trying this out. So far I like it, but it is very, very pricey. I also picked up a liquid eyeshadow from Half Magic Beauty. I have already tried this formula in the past. I had a periwinkle shade and I really liked it, so I wanted to get another matte. They dry down, but you have, I think, enough playtime to get the shape that you want, and also when they do dry down, you can layer on top of it to get a more opaque look, which I like. It doesn't pick up the product underneath, so they're really good. I love the matte shades in this formula, but I do not really like the glitter or shimmer ones. They were a bit patchy, hard to build up on themselves. And then I got a boatload of lip liners, guys. Oh, before we get into the lip liners, I did get the Drunk Elephant Debronzy Anti-Pollution Sunshine Drops. Honestly, I was just curious. These are one of those viral products that I'm like, what's the hype? I don't always use a bronzing drop, but I do find a purpose for them when I'm trying to deepen up foundations, usually in the summertime. It's a very liquidy formula. You can hear it kind of sloshing around in the bottle. It kind of sinks into the skin and absorbs, almost like a serum, but it leaves behind a very warm, light, brownish, orangey, like bronze look. I used it today mixed in with my Laura Mercier foundation. That is slightly too light for me right now, and I do think it helped to correct things subtly. I also used it as a liquid bronzer because I didn't have a new one to try, and I think it worked, but you have to use a lot of product. I had to keep going back in and getting more because it's just not very pigmented. It's very liquidy, and the brush or sponge kind of soaks it up. So if you are going to be using it as a liquid bronzer, I think you would go through it really quickly, but I'm excited that I got to try it out and I can compare it to other more affordable options for you guys. Okay, so the lip liners. I got 2 lip liners from About Face. These are their self-defining lip liners. I have tried these in the past. I love this formula. It's very, very pigmented, very creamy, but very long wearing. The 2 shades I've tried before are Clockwork, which is more of a yellowy brown nude, and then Cradled, which is more of a deeper, almost rosy cool tone brown, I would say. So I picked up 2 more shades, Incinerate and Scorpio Rising. I already knew that I loved that formula. I was just happy to snag them on the low. And then I picked up 2 lip liners from Anastasia. I've never tried their lip liner formula before, but I've heard good things about them. And honestly, everything I've tried from Anastasia Beverly Hills, I've loved. So I had faith, and they had a lot of really beautiful colors to choose from. I picked up 2 Hazelnut, which is more of a pinky, more cool tone nude, and then Cool Brown, which is a little deeper and not super, super cool. I would say it's more neutral to me. These are just a wooden lip liner. They're very long, so you get a lot of product. And I love the shape of these lip liners because they're not rounded. They have little like edges, I guess, or like they're kind of like a square. So they don't roll around on your table, which is nice because mine always roll off onto the floor or my cats knock them over. These are very creamy for a wooden lip pencil. If you hear wooden pencil and you're like, ugh, that sounds really dry and tuggy, these ones are not. They are very creamy, and they actually wear a pretty good amount of time for not being specifically marketed as like a long-wearing lockdown lip product. So I really love the shades. I think they're going to be perfect for every day. And yeah, I was excited to try some more lip liners out. I'm a lip liner like aholic. I love lip liners, so I'm always excited to try new ones. I think that's everything. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I hope I'm not. Anyway, let me know in the comments down below if you picked up anything during Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty event. Have you tried any of these products? Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all so much, and I'll catch you in my next video.